All right, so let's take a look at an example of maybe a problem you would see, and a question you might see is, will it mix? So you want to go ahead, pause the video, go through all four of these scenarios, think about what intermolecular forces are present. Remember, like dissolves like, and predict whether these will mix or not mix. So go ahead, pause the video and do that. All right, so hopefully you paused the video and did that. Let's take a look at all of this stuff, right? So sodium chloride is a salt, and so this will form ions, right? And then we have water. We know water is a very polar molecule, and so it will form dipole-dipole interactions, or it has a dipole. And so we have a salt, we have a dipole, and so these two combined will form ion dipole forces. And as we said, that's a favorable intermolecular force, and so this will mix. Next up, we have water. We said this was polar, so we have a dipole here. And we also have hydrogen bonding, right? There's an OH bond. If we take a look at this next one, this is ethanol, so this is the alcohol you drink. Here, again, we have an OH bond, so we have hydrogen bonding, as well as it being a polar molecule. So you can see these two compounds are very similar. If they're similar, then they will form favorable intermolecular forces within the mixture, and so it is favored, and so will mix. Next up, we have water, which we said was very polar with hydrogen bonding, and then we have C5H12. So one thing that you should have learned in Chem 101 and that you really want to know is that CH bonds are considered non-polar, right? Non-polar. And so we have a polar molecule and a non-polar molecule. Those two are not alike, and so this will not mix. And then finally here we have C7H16, right? So that's all CH bonds, so that's going to be non-polar. And then here we have C5H12. Again, that's all CH bonds, and so that will again be non-polar. And so again, here we have two things that are very alike with one another, and since they're like, they will mix due to forming favorable intermolecular forces within the mixture. And then one last point, when we say a solid is dissolved in a liquid, we say it's soluble in another liquid. However, when we're talking about mixing two liquids, like trying to mix oil and water or maybe alcohol and water, we use different terminology. So when two liquids will mix, we say that they are miscible. So if you say something is miscible with something else, that means they're both liquids and they're mixing. So example, this is water and ethanol, like the alcohol that you drink, right? If they weren't miscible, you wouldn't be able to form beer, wine, liquor, all that kind of stuff. If two liquids don't mix, then what we say is that they are immiscible. And so this would be an example like water and oil, right? If you try to mix these two, they will not mix, and so we say they are immiscible with one another.